Yeah.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Perfect. Come on up. We're doing a ceremony here at the Slave Memorial and Cemetery to honor the enslaved people who lived, worked, and died here. And I was just looking for a few volunteers who might be interested in reading one of the bios of one of those people. Is there anyone who's interested? All right. So I'm going to give you, if I can find her, Oni Judge. We call her Ona. They called her Oni on that one. This is West 4. Anyone else that would like to read a bio? What do you guys want to read one? I have one of a little girl named Rachel that lives here. You want to read Rachel? All right. Oops, okay, so I'm going to give a little bit of information on the Slave Cemetery and Memorial. Then I'll ask my readers to read what I passed out. Just take a minute to read through it because there might be a few words in there that aren't instantly recognizable. Then we'll move the wreaths and have the wreath laying, have a moment of silence. I'll read one final thing, and then my beautiful colleague, Dawn, will conclude it with some music from the time period. Okay? So, welcome to the Slave Memorial and Cemetery. This is a ceremony that we do twice a day, every day, like I said, to honor those men, women, and children who did live, work, and die here as enslaved people. So, a little bit of background. Towards the end of the 18th century, in particular, George and Martha Washington relied primarily on enslaved labor to support their lifestyle. In 1799, there were 317 enslaved people here at Mount Vernon across his 5 farms and 8,000 acres. And we are honoring them today. Now, obviously not all of them are buried here. We actually don't know how many people are buried here. We believe about 150. And that is based off of an eyewitness account of a woman in the 1800s who came to visit the tomb of General Washington. And she noted that she saw about 150 mounds here in the slave cemetery. They were just earthen mounds. That's how they buried them in that time period. They were to be maintained by the descendants. But over time, especially after the Civil War, there weren't as many descendants here. Weather and time, they've all disappeared. Our archaeologists, as you can see, are working diligently to try and discover where these graves are. You can see these little twine or rope markings that show the ones they've already found. There's also a lot of painted rocks that you'll see throughout there, denoting where a lot of these spaces are. That was a project done last May, where we had especially community members come and paint rocks, and they could paint pretty much anything they wanted to on it, as long as it related to the enslaved people or the cemetery. So you have anything from names of some of these people to religious symbols, to things saying like your life matters, you're not forgotten, things like that.
It is my pleasure to celebrate the life of Oni Judd. Born at Mount Vernon around 1774, Oni Judge began serving as Martha Washington's personal maid at the age of 10. Like her mother, Betty, Judge was a skilled seamstress. Her father was likely Andrew Judge, as an indentured English tailor who worked at Mansion House Farm. In 1796, Judge escaped to New Hampshire from the presidential mansion in Philadelphia. She married, had 3 children, learned to read, and evaded Washington's efforts to recapture her. Judge lived the rest of her life as a fugitive, but free. Today we remember Oni Judge.
Hey, Emma, if you want to move the wreath up to the memorial for me, please. And we're going to have a brief moment of silence. Like I said, every year we have a special event out here, the Slave Memorial Commemoration Ceremony. The very first one was in 1990.
This is an African flute from Ghana. A friend of mine who works here, Emmanuel Gogo,
bought it back to me as a gift, so it's nice to be able to play it here. Nikki Giovanni, very well-known poet, was here in 1993, and these are just a few of the words she said. For we raised our voices in a mighty cry to the heavens above for strength to endure. Our song to God, our strength to the earth, our unfailing belief in forgiveness. We turn our faces to the rising sun, knowing a new day is always beginning. And that last part makes me think of the song I like to close out with. This is a very special song. Two brothers, James Weldon Johnson's brother John, wrote it and wanted the music. The poet James and John did the music to the words. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. Lift every voice.